Tonight, a Wisconsin girl goes missing.
A horse dies from West Nile-like symptoms.
And a pair of Syracuse siblings are arrested together.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Dan Corlett.
And I'm Brianna Watson.
2 days have passed since Jamie Kloss has disappeared from her parents' house where they were found dead. The 13-year-old has gone missing from her home in Barron, Wisconsin, and is the subject of an Amber Alert. The parents' deaths were ruled a homicide after investigators determined the wounds they found were fatal gunshots. No gun was found at the scene.
The FBI is looking for information on both James' location and the cause of the death of her parents. More than 400 tips have been sent in to aid in the investigation. The FBI is requesting help, and if you have any information, call the tip line at 1-855-744-3879.
A dead horse in Williamstown has been tested positive for Eastern equine encephalitis. The diagnosis was confirmed by the Oswego County Health Department and is the second case of EEE in Oswego this year. Triple E is a disease that is transmitted similar to West Nile virus and affects victims in similar ways. Oswego County Public Health Director Jiang Chang Huang says the West Nile virus will remain active until the first significant frost of the year. Wang advises people to use insect repellent and to wear pants with long-sleeve shirts.
Officials and local leaders of Scriba came together to celebrate the beginning of construction for the Champlain Commons, a $13.6 million housing project for people of special needs, victims of domestic violence, and those facing addiction. This project is part of the state's Empire State Supportive Housing Initiative, which is a 5-year plan to develop 6,000 units of housing. Homes and Community Renewal Commissioner Ruth Ann Visnauskas hopes that the project will be more than a roof over their heads, but a jumping point to economic success in central New York. Residents can expect to move into the complex 9 months after construction.
A federal judge has dropped a Syracuse sergeant from a police brutality case, ruling he was unreliable in his role as a supervisor. U.S. District Court Judge David Hurds said Sergeant Brian Nowitzki was not personally involved in the 2014 arrest of Alonzo Grant. According to Syracuse.com, Nowitzki was the supervising agent who approved the police reports of the officers who used excessive force to arrest Grant outside of his home.
Now let's go to reporter Alexander Griffin for the newest inside story about a student trip to New York City. Hi, Alex.
Thank you very much. We have a recent story. We know everything we can about the newest inside story of a trip to New York City. This is the first time that a resident mentor has organized a trip to New York City with student attendance off campus. Take a look. Even a rainy day can't stop history from being made on campus at SUNY Oswego. Students from Johnson Residence Hall have recently embarked on an overnight trip to New York City. Johnson Hall resident mentor Jeremiah Butler says that this is the first time a member of Campus Residence Life has organized an overnight trip with students.
It's an action-packed trip. We have no time for shenanigans here, but we're very excited. It's been a long planning process.
The journey to New York had consisted of a concert from contemporary worship band Elevation Worship at the PlayStation Theater in Times Square. The group had also made stops at Ellis Island as well as the Statue of Liberty. The students voiced their opinions on the exciting trip.
It's crazy how it happened because I wanted to see Elevation Worship for a long time. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get here. Then this trip happened, so I was like, oh my God. So then we're going to go see the Statue of Liberty. So I'm definitely doing stuff for residents, especially for all freshmen as well. It's a new experience since people have never been to New York City.
Resident mentor Butler hopes for this type of program to be held on an annual basis, with Niagara Falls possibly being the designated location for the next semester.
We're just dreaming big. That's one thing that my hall director here, Olive, really presses on us is think big. She's been a huge help, as well as Linda, our fire coordinator. A lot of meetings across this past month and a half or so, but this trip would not happen without their support.
Alexander Griffin reporting.
Thanks, Alex. And with a successful trip like this one, there's no telling what amazing memories the resident mentors of SUNY Oswego will help make for students.
On October 3rd, a complaint was filed to the Saratoga Sheriff's Office that a local ice cream man was following young girls near the Oliver Winch Middle School in South Glens Falls. Yesterday, Charles A. Ross, driver of the Mr. Dingaling truck, was arrested on felony charges and misdemeanor charges, both for stalking. The 57-year-old reportedly followed groups of girls from the ages of 12 to 14 and took pictures of them from his truck. The owner of the ice cream truck company was aware of the charges brought forth against Ross, but allowed him to continue working anyway. A warrant has been obtained for the search of Ross's phone and computers for any photos or videos that may have been taken.
2 Eastwood siblings were arraigned for a robbery and murder case in June, leaving 2 men dead. 23-year-old Treman Elmore is charged with first-degree murder for killing Louis Sepulveda and Christopher McLaurin. His older sister, 26-year-old Jasmine Elmore, was charged with second-degree murder as an accomplice in the robbery. The third sibling, 13-year-old Brendel Elmore, is facing unspecified changes as a participant in the crime. An 11th grade teacher, Tammy Crump from Shenandoah High School, is planning to sue the district for $1.9 million for alleged retaliation, believing that school officials moved to fire her because she mentioned having a wife. Crump had been teaching at the high school for 17 years and had no prior discipline, but now school officials have banned her from teaching or having any contact with teachers or students in the district, including the union's grievance chair. Shenandoah's school superintendent, L. Oliver Robinson, said Crump is still employed but cannot comment on personal matter.
Coming up later tonight, a California surgeon is accused of rape.
And Canada legalizes marijuana.
But first, we're going to go outside to our meteorologist, Robert Bianco. What's the weather like outside, Rob?
Thanks, guys. I'm currently in front of Penfield Library, where currently it's very windy, but there's actually clear skies. There are some showers around. As we look at our satellite and radar, we can see some rain and snow showers. And that green coming up on the radar, some of that is actually graupel, which is another form of frozen precipitation, which came through our area previously. And looking towards our current temperatures, we can see temperatures in the 40s, even the 30s in the higher elevations. And towards tonight, temperatures will be in the 30s, low 30s, and inland and towards the higher elevations, even in the 20s. And that's all for now. I'll have more later. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bobby, for that weather report. We're now going to take a quick break. You're watching WTOP10 Nightly News.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
And welcome back from the break. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Robert Bianco. And taking a look at our satellite and radar, we can see some snow showers and rain showers. But this green that's showing up as a rain shower is actually some graupel, which is a different type of frozen precipitation, which we had earlier today. Taking a look at our current temperatures, you could see mainly in the 40s and the 30s in the higher elevations. And going towards our warnings, watches and warnings, we actually have a freeze warning for Oswego County, Onondaga, southern Cayuga, all the way through Ontario County. And it should be very cold tonight. As we can see tonight's lows, around 35 degrees for Oswego, even the mid to upper 20s for the higher elevations. And looking at another story for today, it is our winds coming from the west-northwest. We can see winds around 30-mile-an-hour gusts for Oswego, 15 to 20 for inland and higher elevations. And our future gusts for tomorrow morning, as you wake up, you'll still have them around 20 miles an hour on the shore, 15 to 20 inland. And looking towards our evening for our evening commute, we can see winds are still up there around 20 miles an hour across along the shoreline. And going into our futurecast, you did see that brief hint of snow showers south of Syracuse. There will not be any accumulation from this, and if there is any, it will melt right away because the ground is so warm. And looking towards the northern country, we can see clear skies for your morning commute. Again, cold temperatures, windy conditions, so that you'll definitely have to bundle up if you're taking your kids out, going out for a nice night. And looking towards your evening and overnight, we can see more of the same, just quiet weather, nothing like what we had today, but just chilly and windy conditions. And as we look towards our 7-day, we can see for tomorrow, again, chilly, windy. Friday, a nice rebound up to 62 degrees. Saturday, we have showers, 53 degrees. And for Sunday, we have snow showers. Possible snow showers in the morning, temperatures in the lower 30s in the morning, going up to 40. So kind of a miserable weekend, and again, more of the same for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with temperatures in the 40s and 50s with more showers on the way. That's all for right now. Stay tuned for more news and sports. You're watching WTOP10 News at 9.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back. President Trump would not say whether the FBI is involved in an investigation into the alleged murders of a Washington Post columnist. Secretary Mike Pompeo met with Turkish President Erdogan today. But Natasha Chen explains the Trump administration has reasons to give the Turkish and Saudi investigators some space.
Turkey claims to have an audio recording from within the Saudi consulate proving that Saudi journalist and Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi was killed.
I'm not sure yet that it exists. Probably does, possibly does. I'll have a full report on that from Mike when he comes back.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo met with Turkish President Erdogan Wednesday. He also met with the Saudi Crown Prince on Tuesday, saying afterward that the U.S. would give space to Turkey and Saudi Arabia to complete their investigation.
We need to know the facts before we can begin to formulate what the appropriate response for this would be. I do think it's important that everyone keep in their mind that we have lots of important financial relationships between U.S. and Saudi companies.
Relationships that President Trump praised during Wednesday's cabinet meeting.
They're a tremendous purchaser of not only military equipment, but other things. When I went there, they committed to purchase $450 billion worth of things and $110 billion worth of military. Those are the biggest orders in the history of this country.
Turkish officials said Khashoggi's body was dismembered after his death and that a fresh coat of paint was applied everywhere inside the Saudi consulate in Istanbul before the Turkish investigators gained access to the building Monday evening.
I want to find out what happened, where is the fault, and we will probably know that by the end of the week.
In Washington, I'm Natasha Chen reporting.
Turkish forensic investigators entered the Saudi Consul General's residence on Wednesday. They wore head-to-toe hazmat suits, and some of them wore respirator-style gas masks.
5 more women have come forward to accuse a California doctor of rape. 38-year-old Grant Rochebeau and his girlfriend, 31-year-old Sarissa Riley, have already been accused of 2 accounts of rape in September. The 2 are accused of kidnapping, using medical-grade drugs to incapacitate victims, and sexually assaulting them after administering. The couple plead guilty on all counts, and bail was set at $1 million. If found guilty on all counts, the couple could face life in prison each.
A woman will be leading the largest command in the U.S. Army, consisting of 776,000 soldiers and 96,000 civilians. Reporter Gregor McGregor has more. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Lieutenant General Laura G. Richardson became the first female deputy commanding general of the U.S. Army Forcing Command in 2017, and she'll become the first female commanding general when General Robert Abrams steps down from his post.
CNN reported today that the death of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi during an interrogation was organized by a high-ranking officer in Saudi intelligence. Turkish intelligence has identified a potential list of suspects, specifically Salam Mohammed al-Tabiki, a head of forensic medicine in the Saudi Ministry of the Interior, and Mohammed Saad al-Zahrani, who has appeared with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on Saudi state TV. It is currently unknown if the Crown Prince authorized the interrogation that led to the death of several officials who have spoken to CNN have said that this mission could not have happened without his consent.
Canada has now become the second country and the first G7 nation in the world to legalize recreational marijuana. Reporter Greg McGregor has more.
Happy cannabis consumers came out in force on the first day of legalization.
Weed! Legal weed!
And were met by long lineups outside licensed pot shops here in Montreal, in Calgary, and in Winnipeg. The historic first legal sale was made moments after midnight in Newfoundland.
Here's your receipt. The first legal receipt.
The buyer plans to preserve his purchase for posterity.
I'm going to frame it and hang it on my wall. I'm not even going to smoke it. I'm going to save it forever.
Consumers across the country now face retail rules that vary by province. In Nova Scotia, buying at the liquor store.
Using debit to buy weed was different.
But in Ontario, pot is now available only through a provincially run website. Still, cause for celebration in Toronto. Shop clerks today help new buyers navigate a bewildering array of products.
I got, sorry guys, I can't even remember. Mango Kush.
One Canadian with no plans to buy, the Prime Minister.
I don't drink much alcohol. I don't drink coffee. I have no intention of using marijuana.
His government hopes that in this new era of Canadian drug and social policy, regulated cannabis will begin to squeeze out organized crime.
Today, for the first time, there is competition in the marketplace.
The government also promised to begin the process of granting pardons to those with prior convictions for simple cannabis possession.
Removing the stigma of a criminal record for people who have served their sentence and then shown themselves to be law-abiding citizens enhances public safety for all Canadians.
Those pardons may make it easier for some Canadians with criminal convictions to apply for jobs or to work with children, but it may not help them get across the border into the United States. Even if Canadian records are expunged, the Americans may still have a record of past drug offenses. Glenn McGregor, CTV News, Ottawa.
In Quebec and Alberta, the legal age to buy, use, possess, and grow recreational marijuana is 18 and 19 in the remainder of the country.
Coming up after the break, Jake Vanderbrook gets us a sports update. You're watching WTOP 10 Nightly News.
Preventing wildfires. That's all Smokey wants for his 70th birthday.
Want to watch a movie? Go to WTOP10.com and select Movies on Demand. You can find some of your old favorites and some new ones too. And it's free on campus. Watch and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Anthony Citron, and for one view a day, you can help producers at WTOP get the recognition they deserve for their work. For just 30 minutes a day, you can help these students make sure their work does not go unnoticed. Please, click the link below and help these students get the recognition they deserve. All it takes is one view a day.
Welcome to WTOP10 Nightly News. I'm Jake Vanbrook, and it's time for your sports update. Each week, students are chosen by the Oswego State Athletics Department as Athlete of the Week. This week, the award goes to Liz Myers of women's soccer and Sean Paul Owen of men's golf. Myers finished with 1 goal and 1 assist, including a go-ahead goal in the 101st minute to seal the deal. As for golf, Sean Paul and Owen recorded a 74 on Saturday and shot 1 under with a 71 on Sunday as the Corning native brought home first place for the Lakers in the Nazareth Invitational. Earlier today, the Oswego State field hockey team defeated the Morrisville Mustangs by a score of 4-2. Senior Katie Reynolds scored the first 2 goals to give the Lakers the early lead. Emily Conklin and Alyssa DeMichael each contributed with 1 goal apiece in the contest. Oswego was very aggressive offensively as they were able to put up 16 shots on goal. The Lakers are back on the turf Tuesday, October 23rd as they host Keuka College. Game time is at 4 p.m. Sticking with field hockey, in Section 3 Class C, the Clinton Warriors dominated in their match as they defeated Sherburne Earlville by a score of 5-0. Clinton scored all 5 goals in the first half. The Warriors were able to put up 11 shots and take advantage on 10 corners throughout the contest. Roxy Hughes and Finley Davinian finished with 2 goals apiece, and Gian Trumfillo finished with 1 goal. The Warriors will take on Vernon Verona Sherrill this Sunday at 1 p.m. in Fayetteville. You can catch all your news, scores, and highlights of all Section 3 sports on Syracuse.com. The Syracuse Chiefs announced they are changing their nickname to the Mets beginning in the 2019 season. The Chiefs moniker has been part of the nicknames of pro baseball teams in Syracuse since 1934. But New York purchased the Chiefs franchise last offseason and will field a AAA team with its prospects in Syracuse starting next spring. Sticking with the Diamond, both the American and National League Series were on last night, kicking things off with the Red Sox Astros. It's Marlon Gonzalez. He's going to hit a base hit up the center field. That's going to score Jose Altuve. Astros just trail by 1. But then we got Steve Pearce. He sends this one to left. Backtrack at the wall. It is caught. Oh, baby, Tony Kemp makes the big play. Mookie Betts can't believe what just happened. Take another gander. Tony Kemp going up For a second, I thought this was going to hit the wall, but it doesn't. Tony Kemp makes one heck of a play. Man, oh man, to take away a base hit. But then it's Alex Bregman. At World News, he can't backhand it. Altuve is going to come in as this ball goes to the tour. Astros, they're going to tie it up that too. James Harden is appreciating that. But then here comes Steve Pearce. He rips one deep to left. It is just fair. A solo shot for Steve Pearce, and the Red Sox take the lead by a score of 3-2. Mookie Betts is liking that, but he's going to even like this more. Jackie Bradley. This ball is gone deep to right center. Houston Astros can't do much about it. 8-2 is your final, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. Now we're going to the Dodgers. Brian Dozier. He's going to be leading things off. Bottom first, 2 outs. He's going to send this one to left field. He's going to score. And the Dodgers are up by a score of 1-0. Brian Dozier liking this one. Now, top fifth. We got 1 out. It's Domingo Santana, He's going to hit this one. The right field is going to go past Yasiel Puig. Arcia rounding third. The throw at home is not in time, and the Brewers are up at 1. But here comes Josh Hader. He is going to strike out Matt Kemp. A big inning there as there are runners on the corner. Way to get out of the jam there. But then we go to the bottom 13. Freeze baseball. It's Cody Bellinger. He singles the right. Manny Machado rounding third. Here comes the throw home. He is safe. Not in time. Dodgers go on the win. This series is even up at 2 games apiece.
Every single week, I come in here not caring about baseball. Every single week, I leave caring about baseball because Jake Vanderbrook cares about baseball. Give me your highlights, or we just did our highlights. Give me your predictions for that Brewers-Dodgers series. I'm really more interested about that.
Right now the momentum is with the Dodgers, but I'm going to go with Milwaukee. I think they can take care of Game 5, and then Game 6, back in Milwaukee. Milwaukee will be in full swing, baby. I'm telling you.
Sounds good. All right. How about you guys? How's this table doing?
Yeah, well, that's it for sports, because I don't know anything about it. So, Bobby, tell me, please, that we don't have to experience any more wind like we did this morning.
Tomorrow is going to be a very windy day. It's going to be pretty chilly, too, around 43 degrees. But Friday will actually be much better, rebounding to 62 degrees, less wind. So that'll be a beautiful day for the Oswego students because it's fall break. Saturday, if you're planning on going to the SU football game, it's going to be 53 degrees, a bit rainy. And the rest of your week is going to be still rainy, kind of chilly, and in the 50s and 40s.
So just gray.
Yeah, it's a great week.
I'm excited about the rain. I just bought a kite, so I can't wait to break that out.
You're the only one.
Really? That's the true sport. Let's talk. The NBA just started yesterday, right?
Yes,
We were looking at Boston and Boston and Philly. Probably an Eastern Conference matchup, maybe later in the postseason. Who's your favorite there?
Yeah, absolutely. Trust the process. But that's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for The Real Deal. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Hi there. You might wonder what a famous Hollywood celebrity like me is doing reading in the dark. Is this some new sort of Hollywood method acting? No, this is quite real.
Did you know that Americans use about 4 times as much energy per year as the global average? We waste energy left and right, despite the fact that the dirty fossil fuels we use to power our energy sources wreak havoc on the natural world and destroys valuable wildlife habitats.
By reading with my solar-powered night vision goggles, I'm saving energy and looking sleek.
You don't have to sit in the dark like Ed Begley Jr. to save the world. Fight climate change by speaking up for cleaner, smarter